Hey guys, Professor Kai here, and today I'm going to show you the quickest way to prepare Pokemon for Pokemon Champions. So how do we know which Pokemon are going to be in Champions? So Cerebi has published on their website a list of Pokemon that have appeared in trailers, at the demo at PAX, and also just included all the new Megas, plus some old Megas that should be included at launch. And that would be the list I would go off of if I were trying to prepare as many Pokemon as possible for Champions. You can see the URL here, but I'll also link it in the description down below. Once you decide which Pokemon you want to get ready, the next step is to catch that Pokemon. Now, when you're doing this, you've got to decide, do you want it to just be a regular, for example, I'm going to choose Metagross for this video as an example. Do you want a regular Metagross, or like what I did, is I wanted a shiny Metagross with a title. Now it's the most common title you can get when catching or when shiny hunting, but it's a title. Okay, so now you've caught your Pokemon. Now what do you do? So I'm gonna go over to the stats section here and the moves. We know in Pokemon Champions that IVs are removed. So you don't need to use bottle caps or anything like that to adjust the IVs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's good because it's not going to matter in Champions. Um, what will matter is the EVs. I believe they're called something different in Champions, but essentially what they do is you can increase your stats by putting these values into those stats. I personally am not going to be preparing Pokemon with that because one, I don't know if it's been officially confirmed that those stats are going to transfer. And two, even if they do, it's relatively time consuming and takes a lot of resources in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to do that. So I think it's going to be easier to just do it in Champions. You're going to be saving a lot of VP by just bringing Pokemon with you from Scarlet and Violet or Legends DA through home into Champions. And I think you can use the VP that you save to just add the stat points in Champions. It's going to be quicker and easier, in my opinion. The other thing you can do is you can change the moves. Now, moves, I feel kind of the same way about the EVs. If you already have, so for example, in Metagross, I think Psychic Fangs and Heavy Slam are going to be probably its two best attacking moves, at least just in a vacuum. Maybe when the meta shit, or when we see the meta evolve more, we'll know. But let's sort by name here. So for example, I do have the Heavy Slam TM. So I'm going to teach my Metagross Heavy Slam. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to use any of those moves. All right, got Heavy Slam, and I'm going to teach it Psychic Fangs. So this will save a little bit of time and VP in Pokemon Champions here. I'm going to see if I have the Protect TM. I do not, so I would have to go make the TM, get the resources to do so. I'm not sure if I have the resources. I'm not going to worry about it because, again, I think it's going to waste more of my time to do that than when I can go shiny hunt another Pokemon that I want to put into Champions. Now, if you do want to just go ahead and increase the stats on your Pokemon, increase your EVs, how you would do it is these items here, calcium, carbos, protein, and I'm missing some others, but these are the quickest way to do it. The reason why I say it's might not be worth your time and effort is the fastest way to get these is to buy them from the store. So for example, you can get them at these Chansey supply stores here, and they're pretty expensive. So to max out a Pokemon stat, you need 26, or you could do 25 and a couple of feathers, but essentially you need 26. So just to max out one Pokemon's HP stat, it uses up almost all my money. So that's why I'm saying it's not really worth it. You can also train EVs by fighting wild Pokemon, but again, that takes a lot of time. I don't think it's worth it. It's going to be quicker to do in Champions, and you can use the VP that you save by bringing in a Pokemon as opposed to having to buy the Pokemon itself. The other thing I'd like to mention is Pokemon's nature. So natures are actually pretty easy to change. So for example, you just need these mints here, and they change the nature. These are actually pretty cheap comparatively. It's like 20,000 Poké Dollars to use a mint to change the Pokemon's nature. So I want my Metagross to be Adamant. That's probably the nature I'm going to use in Pokemon Champions. So I'm just going to turn it into an Adamant Metagross. That'll just save me a little bit of extra time in VP in Pokemon Champions. So when editing the video, I realized I completely forgot to talk about abilities. Fortunately, it's really easy to adjust your ability in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You just need to use either the ability capsule or ability patch. So the ability patch will give your Pokemon the hidden ability that it has, and the ability capsule will just switch its ability if it has multiple abilities it can have that are not hidden abilities. My Metagross that I caught already has Clear Body, which is the ability that I want it to have in Champions. So I'm not going to use it on it, but that is how you would change your ability. And then that's really it. Once you get your Pokemon, if you want it shiny or not, doesn't matter. It's up to you. Um, then I would say whatever moves are easy for you to put onto it, put those moves on. Cool. Probably change its nature would be quick and easy to do beforehand, but that's really all in my opinion you need to do, and then you can move on to the next Pokemon that you want to prepare. Obviously you need to put this Pokemon in a home, but we still have a little bit until Pokemon Champions comes out about a week. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, feel free to give a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And until next time, see you later.